So, the nominees for Best Film are... Now, you know what? I don't care. The kind of film that tends to win awards isn't always the kind of film that I enjoy. The kind of films I like aren't always recognised by award ceremonies or critics. So I guess it falls to me to sing their praises. So let us, for the next few minutes, bask in the glory of crap movies. Superhero films recently seem to be in vogue, but they're nothing new. The first Ghost Rider film reviewed quite poorly. I mean, the second Ghost Rider film reviewed quite poorly, but that one's actually bad, so we won't say anything more about that. Nicolas Cage seems to have an interesting relationship with critics. Sometimes they love him, sometimes they hate him. I think Ghost Rider's been a bit unfairly judged. Yeah, it's silly. Extremely silly, but that's the fun of it. Nicolas Cage doing his hammy best as the slightly bonkers stunt rider Johnny Blaze, who makes a deal with the devil to become his bounty hunter, and then has to go hunt down the devil's son and his minions or something. Who really cares about that? The plot only serves to show the rider doing awesome things with a motorbike and a flaming chain. Yeah, superhero movies recently have been getting steadily better. But I think it's important to remember those halcyon days when superhero films weren't anything, and we just accepted and embraced them, warts and all. Now, remakes and belated sequels are often slated, sometimes rightly so, but I don't feel this is the case with Tron Legacy. I'm going to compare the components of the film to the components of a cake, and it will all make sense at the end. So the sponge of the cake is like the plot of the film, and it's okay. Fairly derivative. Bad guy wants to take over, good guys want to stop them. Palatable, but nothing special. The next ingredient to consider is the jam in between the sponge. That's pretty good, that's the action. You know, the disc fights and vehicle chases are really well choreographed and really entertaining to watch. Next ingredient is the icing over the top. And that fittingly is the visuals. And they look stunning. The dark neon look of the film is really quite impressive, and it's managed to be in keeping with the aesthetic of the original without updating it and not going too over the top. And the final component of the cake is the cherry on top, and that is comparable to the soundtrack. That is nothing short of sublime. I am a sucker for a good soundtrack, and to me Daft Punk knocked it right out of the park with their excellent blend of electronic and orchestral sounds. I don't think I can actually state in words quite how much I love that soundtrack. So let's put all these ingredients together. What do you get? Well, you get a very tasty cake, and a very amusing film. A very entertaining film. I'm going to move on now, because I think I probably should have had that chocolate and cake analogy. It made me quite peckish. Now, the final film to talk about is the most recent of the bunch, Pacific Rim. This can be quite easily summed up. Giant mechs fight giant monsters. So what do you really need to know? It seems to be built specifically to appeal to your inner child. Every design decision can be explained with the simple reason. 3 simple words. Because it's cool. You can picture the design meeting where they arm the mechs, Jaegers as they're called. Chair of the meeting sits there, asks for ideas. What can they use to make it or weaponize these mechs? Guy to his left puts his hand up. Ooh, pick me! Yeah. Let's give one of the missiles to shoot out his chest. Head of the meeting said, alright, cool, go with that. The other ideas? Just guy's excited again. Ooh, bigger! Yeah. Give one of them 3 arms and hands that turn into circular swords. Chair of the meeting just looks at this guy and says, right, anything else you want to throw in there? Thinks for a minute. Give one of them jets come out of the elbows. Why? So they can punch things even harder! At this point, the chair of the meeting gives up, lets his inner child take over, and says, why the hell not? This film is a great spectacle. Giant monster robot punch-ups. Another thing the film does really well is scale. The monsters and mechs feel huge as they brawl in the cities. And that only makes it feel all the more awesome. It's been described as either the dumbest awesome movie ever made, or the most awesome dumb movie ever made. I echo this sentiment. Yeah, if we listen to film critics and award ceremonies, we'd get one type of film. That'd be really boring. Variety is the spice of life. So don't ignore the ridiculous, the silly and the dumb. Embrace it.